Hello class 9th, welcome to your history and civics class. Today we are continuing the chapter 7th, Medieval India, South India and the Cholas. In today's class we are going to read the Chola art and the Chola literature. Now let's discuss some key terms. First, deity means god or goddess. Second, Garbhagriha, deity room. Third, Viman. Viman is the pyramidical structure over the Garbhagriha in the Hindu temple of South India. Fourth, Gopuram. It is a monumental tower, usually ornate at the entrance of any temple, especially in South India. Epics means poems having elements of poetry, music, and drama are regarded as kavyas or epics. Sixth, treatise means a long formal book with particular subject. Seventh, sect means religious cult or religious group. The Chola dynasty was one of the longest ruling dynasties in the history of southern India. The capital of the Chola dynasty was the city of Thanjavur. The great temple of Thanjavur was founded by Raja Raj I. The Cholas ruled the Deccan and emerged victorious among many other kingdoms such as Pallavas, Pandyas, Chalukyas, and Rashtrakutas. Their military and economic power was reflected in the grand architectural productions. Under this period at Thanjavur, Gangekonda, Cholapuram, Tribhuvanam, etc. The most sophisticated buildings in the form of temples were built during this era. Now let's come to the reading part, the Chola art, page number 169. The Chola rulers were not only great conquerors and efficient administrators but also great lovers of art and architecture. They built many beautiful temples, canals, roads, cities, and palaces throughout their kingdom. The Chola rulers were great conquerors, administrators, and great lovers of art and architecture. The Cholas were great builders. They built many beautiful buildings, especially temples. The Cholas were great builders of temples. They developed a unique form of temple architecture. Their technique of building temples is known as Dravidian style, which is quite different from Northern style. The chief feature of this style was the construction of a pyramid-like structure over the deity room or Garbhagriha, which came to be known as Viman. It consisted of many stories, each of which was smaller than the one below. The whole of this pyramidical structure was artistically carved from top to bottom with beautiful structures. Then there was a pillared hall with artistically designed pillars and a flat roof in front of the sanctum. Sanctum means Garbhagriha or a sacred place. The temple had a large enclosure and lofty gates called Gopuram. With the passage of time, the Gopuram became majestic and gained great heights. The Cholas developed a unique form of temple architecture. They adopted Dravidian style of building temples, which is quite different from the northern style. A pyramid-like structure over the deity room or Garbhagriha was constructed, which was the main feature of the Dravidian style. The deity was placed at Garbhagriha. The pyramid-like story above the Garbhagriha is known as Viman. It was artistically carved from top to bottom with beautiful painting and sculptures. There was a pillared hall or mandap with the artistically designed pillars and a flat roof in front of sanctum. The temple had a Gopuram. Gopuram means monumental tower, usually ornate at the entrance of any temple, especially in South India. With the passage of time, it became impressive because of its size or beauty. The best example of Chola temple is the Brihadeshwara or Shiva temple at Tanjore, built by the Chola kings. It is a wonderful piece of architecture. Its top is crowned with a single block of stone about 25 feet high and weighing about 90 tons. Another temple built by the Cholas in their capital Gangaikonda, Cholapuram, is a fine example of Chola architecture. The designs and paintings on the walls of these temples are considered unique specimens of art by art critics like Smith and Ferguson. The art of making stone and metal images had also made rapid progress under the Chola rulers. The temples of the Cholas in South India were not the places of worship alone. Soon they became the centers of cultural, spiritual, social, and economic life of the community as well. The Brihadeshwara or Shiva temple is the best example of Chola temple. It was built at Thanjavur, Tanjore in Tamil Nadu. It was built under the Chola dynasty by King Rajaraj. This temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. The top of the temple is crowned with a single block of stone about 25 feet high and weighing about 90 tons. Even today, it is a matter of surprise as to how could have lifted such a big stone to so high a place. The Cholas built another temple in their capital Gangaikonda, Cholapuram, which is a fine example of the Cholas architecture. Rajendra I built great city called Gangaikonda Cholapuram in the memory of the conquest of Gangetic plains. The height of this temple is 185 feet. The walls of these temples have extensive designs and paintings are considered unique specimen of art by art critics like Smith and Ferguson. Moreover, the Cholas were famous for their sculpture in bronze. Nataraj or Dancing Shiva is the most well-known Chola statue in bronze. This shows that the art of making stone and metal images had also made rapid progress under this Chola period. Chola temples often became the nuclei of settlements which grew around them. These were center of craft production. They were the hub of economic, social, cultural and spiritual life as well. The Chola literature. Great achievements were made in the field of literature as well under the Chola rulers. During this period, spectacular advance was made by regional languages, especially Tamil language, which made a significant progress. In this period, several Bhakti poets of Shaiv and Vaishnav sects called Nayanars and Alvars respectively composed several works in Tamil and preached the path of salvation through bhakti or devotion to the deity. In the 12th century, their works were collected in 8 volumes which are known as Tirumorais. It is also considered as the 5th Veda. Among the religious literature, the name of Kamban stands supreme. Kamban wrote the Tamil Ramayana, which is considered the pride of Tamil literature. Puglandi wrote Nalavemba based on the love story of King Nal and his consort Damayanti. Simplicity and sweetness are the two characteristics of this epic. Kalinghattuparni was a great work of Jamkondar. Vikram Chola was a famous poet and Tamil writer in the court of Kulatunga II and Rajaraj II. Buddhamitra and Ravankashi wrote a treatise on grammar. A Jain poet, Amrit Sagar, wrote several works to enrich the Tamil literature. The Chola literature written in Tamil is the literature created during the period of Chola reign in South India between 9th to 13th centuries CE. The age of the imperial Cholas was the most creative epoch of the history of South India and was the golden age of Tamil culture. The Chola rule marked a milestone in the history of Tamil literature. The Chola made a lot of achievement in the field of literature. The Chola kings gave many concessions and patronage to Tamil scholars and writers. In this period, there were several Bhakti poets of Shaiv and Vaishnav sects. The Nayanars and Alvars led religious movement in South India during 7th to 9th centuries. The Nayanars were devotees of Shiv while the Alvars were the devotees of Vishnu. They preached the love of Shiv or Vishnu as the path to salvation. In 12th century, their works were collected in 8 volumes known as Tirumurais and considered as 5th Veda. Among the religious literature, the name of Kamban stands supreme. Kambhar or Kavi Chakravarti Kambhan was a medieval Tamil poet and the author of Ramavatram, popularly known as Kambha Ramayanam, the Tamil version of the epic Ramayana, which is considered the pride of Tamil literature. Nalvembha was written by Puglandi. This book is a love story of King Nala and Damayanti. It is a great epic which is known for its simplicity and sweetness. Kalingattu Parni is a 12th century Tamil poem and a war song by Jam Kondar celebrating the victory of Kulutunga Chola first over the Kalinga king in the Chola Kalinga War. Parni is a type of a literature that is written on a king who kills 1,000 elephants in war. Vikram Chola was a famous poet and Tamil writer in the court of Kulatunga II and Rajaraj II. Treatise on grammar was written by Buddhamitra and Ravankashi. Treatise means a long formal book with particular subject or thesis. A Jain poet, Amrit Sagar, wrote several works to enrich Tamil literature. So finally we have learned that during the medieval period there was a development of Indian civilization. The Chola rulers like Rajaraj Chola and Rajendra Chola were not only a good in administration but also were great patron of literature and architecture, which is now heritage of India. Dear students, I hope you understood today's topic. Revise the chapter and learn the basic terms. Thank you.